you've got all these black leaders, formerly Jesse Jackson, James Brown, you name it, James Brown, Jim Brown, and so many others that have known Trump for 40 years and know that the guy's super nice, super cool, hires a ton of African Americans, you know, when they're qualified, hires white people when they're qualified, just goes off how hard working you are and promotes people, and bought up these racist golf courses 35 years ago, the last two in the country that didn't let blacks and Jews in and made them all inclusive. They just know it's not true. So they've come out in defense of Trump, and they're being demonized by the race pimping folks on CNN, MSNBC, who know full well what they're doing. So here we've got a video. NFL legends praise Donald Trump. Jim Brown, Ray Lewis, and others are now guilty of trumping while black, like Kanye West, who isn't perfect, but is now divorcing his wife and says he's getting out all the liberal garbage, and he doesn't believe the lies about Trump because he's known him for years, and came out in support of him, and then didn't hit anybody, didn't attack anybody. They said, you need to settle down, you're crazy, and grabbed him and locked him up in a mental institution for almost 2 weeks. Now the media is demonizing him as he dare visits president-elect. He took the red pill. Like Trump said, black unemployment has almost doubled under Obama. What do you got to lose? And he's calling for these companies to invest in urban, mainly black areas. That's part of the phone calls. And what'll really make me happy, I'm going to get that tax on corporations cut, is I want you to move into these burnout urban centers. It's beyond real political correctness. It's actually bringing prosperity and self-respect that will end all this poverty and crap that the globalists are pushing to control us. Now, let's get to this clip, because then the media comes out and demonizes it. Here's NFL legends praise Donald Trump. Then I'm going to get to this incredible map. Here we go.
And to me, it's a match made in heaven. It's something that rather than go out and try to invent a vehicle to enhance the African-American community, we have a vehicle in place that we need the country to get behind, not just this administration, but for the country to get behind, so we can affect positive change in our communities.
How receptive was Mr. Trump to
Oh, very, yes.
Very enthusiastic.
It couldn't have been a better meeting. The graciousness, the intelligence, the reception we got was fantastic.
What are the specific policies you guys talked about?
Would you repeat that?
Well, I think if you talk about what we're trying to really do from the urban developments, and job creations are everything. But I think, you know, we're talking about really what entrepreneurship really looks like from the individual themselves. I think what America I Can program has done for so many years is put us at that place, and now we have 30, 40,000 former gang members and people who's changed their lives. But what we believe with the Trump administration is if we can combine these two powers of coming together, forget black or white. Black or white is irrelevant. The bottom line is job creation, economic development in these urban neighborhoods to change the whole scheme of what our kids see for our next future.
And we will
Characterize Mr. Trump's outreach to African Americans during the campaign. Do you feel that it was appropriate?
Yeah, well, I think what I do feel is that he's wide open to really helping us change what hasn't been changed. You know, you talk about, you go all the way back to $22 trillion since President Johnson was around, and you think about what that is, of what talking about, like, really solving poverty, $22 trillion that we haven't addressed yet, right? So for us as a black community, for Trump to even step up there, for Mr. President to step up there and say, I'm going to do that, that means everything. And I think that's why me and Mr. Brown is here today.
Did you all vote for him for president?
No, I did not.
The election is over. Right. We don't need to talk about that. We need to talk about going forward. We're not here to talk about the past. We're here to talk about going forward.
I've been listened to, and we definitely have a partnership.
Yep.
It's an extension of the outreach program that we put in place that you follow so very closely. Mr. Trump made a commitment to improving the conditions of the lives of African Americans in this country, and this is going to continue the work that we started during this campaign with the National Diversity Coalition and now with the Mayor I Can, Jim Brown, Ray Lewis, and it's a great combination. And the president-elect was very enthusiastic about it and committed to doing it.
I think he was excited.
He's made a commitment. He's given a verbal commitment. This was the first of many meetings. He's given us a verbal commitment, and then we're going to go forward. We're going to strategize, and then the next step will be implementation. We're not going to drag our feet talking about this for the next 3 years. This is something that the vehicle is already in place. The model already works.
That's right.
We're just going to energize and empower this model put the government behind it, put the Trump administration behind it, put the African-American community behind it, put the American community behind it, and we're going to get busy.
I notice those are all really smart, cool, sharp, good-looking guys. And there's tons of black men like that. You never see them on the news. They put these Don Lemon types, all effeminate, worshiping the government, worshiping corruption, worshiping welfare checks to keep people under control. You mentioned LBJ? Because I've read the writings of that particular NFL current player. He's talking about LBJ saying, I'll have the N-words voting Democrat for 100 years. It was about kicking men out of the house, domesticating people, and they've done it in 60 years. $22 trillion to screw up a community, not to help it, to induct you into prison. And Trump means on delivering jobs, high paying. That's why the world is so angry at him, because the globalists thought they'd won. And the model they've done in the black areas is the model for everybody. Look at the numbers. Every group is going the same direction. I even say in groups because everybody's just intermarrying. It's all a bunch of bull, man. Now, there's another clip where they try to derive a racial narrative out of this. You already heard her. Was it appropriate? He kept directly addressing the African-American community. I thought that's what you want. Obama wouldn't come to your communities. He'd just spew a bunch of race garbage and go on shows and say whites are more racist than ever, the ones that elected him, creating racism on both sides. So here's the next clip.
Does it concern you at all that in the top four, the big four cabinet posts, Mr. Trump hasn't appointed a woman or a minority?
No, it doesn't concern me. We're talking about this today. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about this. This is what we're talking about. Our focus is right here.
Pause for a minute.
On this American.
Notice Trump's going out and getting the people that will actually get the job done. One of the best salesmen in the world, works in more countries than anybody. Rex Tillerson, you can say he's bad, say he's good. The point is he's going to get stuff done. He's going out and putting people in place that have the biggest and best credentials to deliver it. It's like in the NFL, you put in the slot whoever's the best player, no matter what color they are. It's the same deal. If you want the jobs delivered, if you want it to see, the Democrats will appoint some black faces, and then your unemployment doubles, and he won't come visit you. It's all image over substance. Trump doesn't care how he looks. He's going to deliver. Quote, you will not be disappointed. You want to be delivered, or do you want to get more bull?